Hello, it's Nancy with Pentart. Hello, hello. When you come on, say hi so I know you're here and I can chat with you. I'm so excited about today. I am going to be showing you the 3 new products from Pentart, the 3 new glue products, and I'm going to be showing you how to use them, everything you need to know about them, and do a few little projects. Show you how they work, some tricks and tips, and let's wait just another minute to have more people come on. Make sure you say hi when you come on. Hopefully I will see your comments. And let me just get this other set up here. Okay. Hey Jill, how are you? Oh, hello. I don't know how to say your name. It looks like a beautiful name. I'm going to just slaughter it. Hello. So again, my name is Nancy. I'm with Pentart, and we're going to be talking about the 3 new glue products today. And if you haven't seen them yet, we have the Ultra Matte Decoupage Glue, Candle Glue, and the Decor Glue Tacky. So these are the 3 new products. And let's get right into it. I'm going to just turn you down a little bit here so you can see my workspace. And we've got a lot to do. And I have an hour, so I got to get moving. Let's see. How is that for everybody? All right. Judith, hello. Sandorne, hello. I know I slaughtered your name. I'm so sorry. So let's talk about the Pentart Decoupage Glue, the Ultra Matte. This is a new glue that when you use it, it goes on completely flat with no sheen. And I've just put a piece of rice paper on here. And no matter which way you turn it, there's just no shine. There's 2 reasons why I love this. The first one is when you're using the glue and you're painting it on your surface to apply your decoupage paper, when you wipe it across the paint, you won't see it. Whereas other glues, you get a little bit of a shine to it, and then you have to go back and cover it up with paint. This one, you're not going to see it almost at all. Definitely not on light colors. You see absolutely nothing. And the other reason I like it is because, especially with the Christmas decor that we're all into right now, when you have a real flat background and then you're going to put something on with a shine to it, it's really going to pop more. So this is the newest glue, and it's also a varnish. So always keep in mind, you sandwich it, you put it on the bottom and then you put it on the top and you're good to go. Rosa, hello. I can't read that on my eyes. Tanae and Caitlin, hello. Thanks for stopping by. So that is the quick one. That's the Ultra Matte Decoupage Glue. Next we have the Decor Glue Tacky. Now this is going to be similar to the glue for the metal leaf, but this one is a little different because it's made more for larger surfaces. You can certainly use it on any size. We're going to create something like this in a little bit. So you can use it on something as small or as big as you want. It's very thin. And when you apply it, you want to apply the glue with a nice soft brush. And you're going to keep brushing until you get the thinnest coat that you can imagine. And two things with that. What that's going to do is you're not going to get any lines. So when you apply whatever it is you're going to apply on top of it, you're not going to see any brush strokes underneath. And also it dries super fast. So I've used other glue products. And when you read the label, it says that you have to wait 20 to 30 minutes for some of them to dry, until not to dry, but until they're ready to use. And this one is ready almost instantly. So you apply it very, very thin. And let me just get a paper towel. So you're going to apply it to your painted surface or whatever you're going to use it on. And you're going to brush it a lot. So you're going to keep going over it until you don't see any lines at all. And you're getting a really, really thin coat, if you can see that. So I'm going to do this whole board here. And then we're going to apply products that work well with this glue. And it's a surprising amount of things that work that I didn't even know before this glue. I had never even thought about using it. And the more I worked with this yesterday, I just kept coming up with different words of how the result I was getting. I felt like it was more polished. So when I applied the velvet powder, it was really just a thin, beautiful coat and no bumps in it. So I've used the velvet powder recently for some projects, and um, I've just used the regular glue, which is fine, a hobby glue. But this, the hobby glue, you can leave some bumps to it. So especially with the velvet powders and a couple other products, you'll actually see the bumps, and then it doesn't look as professional. So I was really impressed with this. So we have the thinnest coat that you can imagine. Now, it's hard to see on a light surface when it's ready because you just don't want to see any white. It's going to dry. When it's ready, it's clear. The other thing you're going to want to do is clean your brush pretty quickly with a soap product, with their Pentacolor brush cleaner, which I don't have. But because it's such a tacky glue, you're going to want to clean it quickly with a soap or a brush cleaner. Okay, so we're going to apply a few products to this. I'm such a messy crafter. I'm going to put a little paper underneath myself here. And I did this yesterday on a darker color, and I just wanted to show you what it looks on a lighter color. So some of the things that we can use with this, I do have little notes here because there is so much and I don't want to forget anything. So the first thing we're going to do is a little bit of velvet powder. And again, you're just going to use your brush. You can squeeze it on or take the lid off. And when you put it on, put a nice little pile, because then you can spread it around. I just like to use my fingers, but you can use a brush. And you're going to want to press it firmly in there. So just keep pressing it down. One thing I like to do when I'm using velvet powder is if I know what color I'm using, I usually paint whatever it is I'm working on. I'll paint it that color. And that way, if I missed a spot, then you really won't notice as much. Sometimes there is user error, but if you put it on properly with the nice layer of the glue, you shouldn't have any problem. And then you just shake off the excess. And there you see the velvet powder. And just see how flat it is. There's no bumps to it. It's really nice. Okay. Another thing you can use with the Decor Tacky Glue are colored flakes. Now, all of these kind of products and the metal pigments and things like that are perfect to use on furniture, and that's what this glue is great for as well. Because it's so thin and spreads out so easily, it's really good to use on large surfaces. This is the flakes, colored flakes, black and gold I'm using. And again, you can just put this on with your finger and then just press it in really well. I love this one. The black and gold is so pretty. And you can see not much comes off, but you can use a soft brush, wipe it away, and it gives great coverage. Anybody peeking at my candle back there? We're going to get to that in a little bit. I have a candle burning with something I was working on. And there you have, look how pretty that is. Imagine that on a table, on some accents on a table leg or a drawer. Okay, and then we can go to same thing, how it works with the metal flakes. Now the metal flakes, you are going to want to seal with the glossy solvent-based varnish, because this can tarnish. You don't need to seal the velvet powder. You can seal the colored flakes if you want, but because that's not a metal, you can just use a regular glossy varnish. It doesn't have to be. You can use the solvent, but it doesn't. You don't have to. But if that's all you have on hand, then that's what you can use. So you press it on and then brush it away with a soft brush. And like I said, one of the best things is how quickly it sets up. I know with the other ones, I've forgotten about it. You know, it's 20 to 30 minutes. I'll set a timer or just walk away and you totally forget. And then it's 2 hours later. So this is the pretty metal flakes. Okay. All right. So a couple other products we can use are Galaxy Flakes. This is Saturn Green. Same thing, just put it on, spread it around. And this sticks really well to the tacky tacky glue. They don't budge. Gorgeous. Okay. Glitters and eco glitters. We have I believe this is rose. This is the rose gold. And it's so quick. You just press it on and you're done. You want to make sure you press it really well. And that's the eco glitter. You can also use metal pigments, pigment powders. I love this one. Just use a little brush here. A little bit of this goes a very long way. Same as the chrome rub-on pigments. Look how gorgeous. So just brush it on. There's no brush marks. Look at that. That one's gorgeous. I love that. And what else? You can actually put micro beads on it. They will stick as well. Colored foils. I don't have any of those to show you. Colored flakes, micro beads, and pigment powders. So those are all the things. So you want to push these in really well, but they stick too. Let's see if you can see that better. So here's yesterday's that I did. Oh, now I made a mess. This was the green velvet powder down here. And then colored flakes, the foils, beads, galaxy flakes down the line. So that is the Decor Tacky Glue. And I think I covered everything that it works with. Just remember to put it on very, very thin, and that way it'll dry quickly for you and it'll last you a long time. And it's perfect for those furniture painters. Okay. So that is Decor Tacky Glue. Let me just clean this up. And last we have the candle glue, which has been a lot of fun to play with. One thing I always say is never leave your candle unattended. So yes, this glue has a flame retardant in it, so you can apply this directly to your candle and burn it, but of course there are limitations. This is not, you can't just apply anything you want to the candle. So it will work with rice paper and napkins. So when people ask, can I print something on a piece of paper? No, you can't. It's napkins and rice paper, which covers just about everything you want to put on a candle. So I made this one, and I made a Halloween candle. And you can see this is burning. Yes, I just spilled the wax a little. And here I added on the butterfly the micro beads. And you can see how pretty that looks shining there. Okay. So we're going to work on a candle here. And this is a white candle. So what you're going to do, the candle glue acts as not only glue for the decoupage paper or the napkin, but it's also a primer. So I always like to mix this one first a little bit, shake it up. And just like the tacky glue, you're going to apply this super thin. So I tried it with a fan brush and I didn't like the coverage, I didn't like the way it went on. So I used a soft brush, and you can see I already did this one yesterday. And we're going to apply it to the rest. Now, when you put it on, you have your soft brush, and you only need a tiny bit. So you can start putting it on. You know you have too much, because if you stand it up, you'll see if you leave it for a minute or two, it'll start to run down a little bit. And that's how you know you have too much glue. So just have to take your time. And I brush it a lot. You can also use your finger. You can use the flakes also. Stephanie, yes, I used both the colored flakes as well as the metal flakes. Was this on, this was with the tacky glue, I think you were asking, right? Hi, Claire. Yes, I started, yeah, we're on different time zones, I think. So you can watch the replay. And I'm also going to do a live on Monday in the Decoupage and Mixed Media group. So this was just a candle I already had. And that little tiny bit that I put on, I can already see that it's too much. So I just start spreading it out. Just got some fuzz on here. So I'm trying to cover this whole back area, and you see how little I'm using. You just don't need a lot. Now, if you're going to decoupage right on top, you don't have to be so careful as to it running down, because you're going to put your paper or your napkin. Oh, for the candle glue. I will talk about what you can use for the candle glue. You can, there's like a process for the candle, when you're doing this on a candle. So you can use the metal leaf, decorative foils, pigment powders, you can use certain things, but you have to put wax over top of it. So we will be using the transparent wax paste and putting it over top of certain things that we use it on. So I'm still spreading it. You can also just use your finger if it's clean. And you can use your finger to spread it around. Now, like I said, if I was about to put a piece of paper on this or a napkin, I wouldn't have to be nearly as concerned about it running down, because I would have my paper on top. But if you're going to use it as a primer, then you put it on like this and let it dry. And then you can go ahead and add the rest of whatever it is you're going to do. Yes, Joe, we'll get to all of that. So this is going to dry. I also want to put it on the front here. And why I'm doing it here is because I'm going to add acrylic paint. So you can actually add acrylic paint directly to the candle if you'd like, or add the primer first, let it dry, and then add the candle glue first. Let it dry, it's acting like a primer, and then paint it with your acrylic paint. You can use metallic, you can use pearl, you can use almost any kind of acrylic paint. It has to be acrylic. Now you can speed up the drying with a blow dryer, but obviously it's going to have to set on cool, because if it's on hot, you're going to melt your candle. So the reason I'm putting it up here is I'm using it as a primer. It's going to dry, and then I can put my rub-on pigments on here. So if we want, we can add, let's add a little piece of, hello Marika. We're going to add a little piece of rice paper here. I'm sorry if you're hearing that noise. That's my dog sitting right under the table because he's got to be by my feet chewing on a bone. So that's what that little bit of sound is there, if you're hearing that. Goofy dogs. Okay, this is Decoupage Queen from her Halloween release. And I have it on the front and the back here. Don't remember what this one was called. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit more glue on here so I can add, this probably was already drying. So I'm going to add this here. And works wonderful. Get a little bit under here. And then you're going to put it on top as well. So you're going to want to use this when you use it for decoupage paper or a napkin. You have to use it underneath as well as on top. You're covering the top with the candle glue as well. And napkins have a little bit of a rough feel to them. So you can also, after you use the candle glue on the top and it dries, you can add the transparent wax to give it a nice waxy feel. So it feels like it's really attached. It's like one with the candle. You know what? I just got a little covered my horse's face here. Don't do that. I like the horse. Just gonna take that off. Okay. So that is adhered, and I'm going to use the blow dryer a little bit to dry this. And then I'll show you how to add the paint and whatever else you want. Just to let you know, when I added the micro beads to this candle, the process for that is you take a little cup and you pour your micro beads in there along with the candle glue. And you stir it all around and you get all of your beads covered in the candle glue. And then you can put it where you want it. And you just have to sort of lay it, you know, if it's just straight up and down, it might slide down. So you're going to want to lay it on its side till it dries. And then they're on there really well. So they're totally covered, totally coated in the candle glue first. And then that's how you apply it. If you're going to add the 3D powder or 3D balls, that's the process you do for that as well. So you have to coat them, all those three things, with the candle glue first. Okay, so let me cover this up, and I'm going to just put this on cool and dry it a little bit. Oh, no, I'm not. Huh. And I didn't practice that yesterday, but that dried pretty quickly. Sorry about that. All my notes went flying. Okay, so then after it's dry, you can start adding your acrylic paints. So I'm going to use a sponge brush and just use a couple different colors to blend it in. And then we're going to add a stencil. So the cool thing about this is, if you've ever used the rub-on pigments, you know, you usually use it with the dipping paint. Here you don't have to. So you can either start with a black candle, or you can paint your candle black, and then just putting a little wax on your finger, you can rub the pigments right onto the candle. And then you have to seal it with a little bit more wax. Where did you get that great tiered tray for your Pentart goodies? I got that from Amazon. We were chatting one day in a group how everybody stores their products. I think Yvette told me about it, and it's really for makeup. So if you go onto Amazon and look up makeup storage, that's where I got it, and I just love this. All my Pentart goodies right at my fingertips. It's fabulous. We'll catch on replay. Okay, see you, Claire. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use a little bit of paint. You can brush it on if you want. I like to pounce it when I'm doing blending. Does anybody have any other questions? You're welcome. About that organizer there. Then I also have the two things on wheels behind me from Michael's. Well, one's from Michael's. They're like tiered trays. And I keep all of my other, more of my chalky paints and all my specialty projects over there. The one little wheelie cart I have I got from Lidl, which is now in the United States. Kind of new to us here. And I think it was like $7. And this, I should have gotten more because they ran out. And I love this thing. Little 3-tiered tray. You will have fun with them. Not sure who or when they will arrive in the UK. Yes, these 3 I know in the United States, they are going to be here early next week. So I will be doing a demo on them Monday. And they'll be arriving. So you'll probably be able to get them probably 2 weeks from now in the United States. And to get them in the US, you have to find a retailer by going to the royalcourtarts.com, and you can locate a retailer. Maybe you have one near you, or most of them ship. They're on Etsy. But these will be available. And I just think that, I mean, they're all fabulous. This one is just very unique. The candles, but like I always say, never leave a burning candle unattended. These, you can still use it on the battery operated candles too. There's those are covered with a wax as well. And it's the same principle. I do love those. The ones with the timers, you can just turn them on. They go on and off by themselves. There's other ones that go on and off with the light. And let's do a little bit up here as well. Let's darken this whole candle. But I think these are going to be fabulous for Christmas coming up. Imagine the beautiful candles you can make for Christmas decor. So as I said, you can use rice paper or napkins. That's it. No other papers. You can use acrylic glue. I wouldn't try any other glues because this is all that they've tested in their labs. This is what they're saying works. So that's what you want to go with. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I'll bring it down here a little bit. Let's go back to the dark. So, unlike other once this dries, the other thing is now I can go back to my tacky glue and use it on here and then apply my colored foils and flakes and whatnot. Whatever you're allowed to put on here, you can now use this decor tacky glue, apply your flakes, but then make sure you always go over it with the wax paste. Have you tried the one component crackle? No, I don't think you can use crackle. It's not listed on the product sheet, so I just assumed we weren't able to use that. Maybe I'm wrong. If somebody wants to correct me, please do. But from what I thought, you can't use that. I mean, I don't know if you can then, if then you can cover it with the wax paste. I don't know. Why the wax paste at the end? It's just really when you use the napkin, if that's what, or even the rice paper, you cover it with the clear wax. It's going to make it feel like a candle then. So you're not going to, it's not going to feel like paper. It's going to feel like the candle, but it's also going to protect what you've done. So after you apply, if you're doing the rub-on pigments, it's going to like hold it in place. So you want to use your clear wax at the end. This is what they were recommending, the wax, the transparent wax paste. Can you use clear furniture paste like their other wax? I don't know. That's a question too that is on my list to ask. So I don't know about that. Okay, so here is my painted candle. It's not on the sheet as it's layers of acrylic paint. I wondered. Yeah, these are all kinds of questions. We should make a list because that's a very good question, because that would crackle would be really cool. But there's got to be other components to crackle. So maybe it hasn't been tested yet. I don't know. So I'm going to just dry this again. Give me a second here. Okay, that feels pretty dry. So what I wanted to show you next was I have this stencil that is the sticky kind, and it makes it much easier to stencil on a round. Okay, if I could find where it starts on something round. This is really the only, I don't usually use the sticky kind of stencils, but they'd be really cool with some with if you have some with words for Christmas and whatnot. They'll be really fun to use. So I just took this and wrapped it around. So I'll cut this piece off. These are pretty cool. They can be used over and over again. I used to use them on furniture. And you could use them a good, I don't know, 6 or 7 times. So let's go this way first. So I want to come around. That net up almost perfectly. Okay, so I'm just pushing this on. Yeah, let me fix that. It's going to buckle there. Anybody have any questions so far about the Ultra Matte? Let me just cut this a little bit off. I know, any fabric people are cringing now because I'm using fabric scissors. Don't yell at me. Fabric scissors work really well on paper. I'm terrible. Okay, so you just push it down well, and then you're going to take your transparent wax and just take a little piece of paper here. I don't know how people with long nails do this. I don't have really that long a nail, but it just gets under there. So I'm just putting a little bit of wax out here, and I'm going to use the gold rub-on pigment. And it's a little bit of wax on my finger. Put it in the pigment, and then rub it through the stencil. Now they say you have to add more wax after. So what I would do is leave this stencil in place and add more wax on top. And it just seems like you add the extra bit of wax and it just, I think it helps prevent it from just sliding down when you're burning the candle. I just want to show you, I practiced yesterday with another candle, and look how cool that is. I did the rose gold, that's the rose gold rub-on pigment, and that's the blue ocean, I think it's called. How cool is that? So just continue putting this on. You can imagine this with beautiful Christmas candle. I'm putting red wax. Could do the red rub-on pigment, the ruby. I just posted a project today that I used the red. I mixed the red and the blue, the ruby and the, I can't remember the name of the blue now. Mixed the red and the blue together first and then put it on, and I got purple. It was gorgeous color. Do you need the wax for the pigment if you use it on a different surface? Just got my first colors in, but no wax. You apply it with wax. So yes, you do need a little bit of wax to apply it to whatever it is you're doing. So yes, get yourself some clear wax. All right, now I'm going to go over just with a little bit more of the clear wax. I think if you take this off and then apply the clear wax, it's going to mess up the stencil. But if I wasn't doing a stencil and I was just applying it, it would be fine. But I'm going to leave this stencil in place so that way I don't get my gold pigment where just the brown acrylic paint is, if that makes sense. So did you get the dipping paint and everything, Charette? but this gives it a whole new reason, a whole new place to use your rub-on pigments. Okay, and then we just take off the stencil. And there we have it. And then I can apply it to the top. Let's apply a different color just for fun so you can see. Excuse me 1 second. Let's see what else we have. The brass. That would look cool. King blue. I'm sorry, it's king blue that I used with the ruby. If you mix these two together in a little cup, you only need a tiny bit. This stuff goes, it's a teeny tiny container because you only need a tiny bit. It goes really far. So now we can apply, let's apply the brass to the top. And so I just put the wax on my finger. Not a lot. I wipe a lot off in a way, but the chrome pigments are super, super shiny. Yes, I must have missed that. The dipping paint in the house. Good for you. And you know you can brush that on too. You can dip it, but if it's a large thing that you're working on, you can just brush it. But dipping is kind of fun too. And it doesn't have to be on black. You can use these pigments on any color. I think it shows up best against the black, but you know, you're going to get a different effect. So whatever you're going for. Tested mine real quick, but they weren't that shiny, probably because I need the wax. Yes. Okay, so you applied it without the wax. Yeah, the wax helps spread it, and it's, yes, it's going to make it shiny. So I just added plain wax on top, like they say. And there we have the result. That's pretty cool. I would just bring this down. I have another minute. We have a little bit of time left. Yeah, we have some more time. So what I would normally do, I would want this to come down further into my rice paper. So I like when it, of course, it's always hard to match up your stencil again. Let's see, that goes right there. So let me just see how this looks. Hopefully I'm not messing it up. Oh, I need my gold again. Thank you, Gabby. It's just fun to play. Like I said, I spent hours yesterday just playing with them so I could become familiar with it. And it really is just fun to play with everything. So let's bring this down into the rice paper just a little bit more. And then I'm going to go over with you just for a second what you can and can't use. So they say you can use velvet powders, but then you can't burn the candle. So if you're just making this for yourself and you got to remember that, then you can use it, but you can't burn it. That's flammable. All right, so I just brought this down a little bit more into the paper. Okay. So you can use colored foils. So if you're going to burn the candle, the following materials can be applied directly to the candle and then burn it. The napkins, like I said, and the paints, the rub-on pigments, but they have to be covered in the wax so that it doesn't run off. And then they tell you, put the wax. You don't have to put the wax over the napkin, but a napkin feels like paper. So if you cover it with the wax, it's gonna make it feel like it's part of the candle, and it makes it look and feel better. And as I said, with this here, I used the 3D, I used the micro beads, and I took the beads in a little cup, coated it thoroughly in the glue, the candle glue, and then applied it to the candle. Well, it was like soaked in the glue, and it dried overnight, and they're really on there pretty hard. You can use the Eco Glitter. You can use regular glitter, art mica, pigment powders, decorative foils, and metal leaf. So with those, you're going to want to apply the decor tacky glue first. So you would apply, if I wanted to put some metal leaf on here, I would put a little bit of, again, it was so thin, you're just going to need a tiny little bit of the tacky glue, let it dry a little bit, and then put on your metal leaf or flakes or whatever it is that you wanted to use. And the only other thing is the velvet powder, like I mentioned. So you can use it, but you can't burn those. And I think that's it today. If there's any other questions, love the candle. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. You'll be seeing a lot of projects in the near future. There's going to be a lot of videos coming out. I believe there was one on the page today showing the candles. But, PentArt, they're going to have a ton of projects that you'll be able to see and spark ideas. If you have any questions about other things like can I use for my candle, you can put them here and I or somebody else will answer. And let's just light this and see how it looks. Of course, the room's not dark, but there you have a festive Halloween candle, and put it on a pretty holder. Since you can't add molds or anything like that to it, you just put it on a pretty holder and you have a pretty cool scene for Halloween night when your trick-or-treaters are coming. So I'm going to do this again on the other Facebook page on Monday. So we'll have some more fun playing with this. Let me know if you have any questions. And I think that's it. Thank you so much for coming and sticking with me and playing with all these new products. So that's about it. Thank you all so much. See you later. Bye.